think the Giants are just that little bit slicker in the contest, and if they get moving, they've got the ability to score. But if Richmond ramp up that pressure again and can just shut down those chains of handballs in close, then they're the team to win. Great second half coming up.
More than 94,000 in the house, Basil.
And only a half to go for one of these teams, Das. Adelaide wait. GWS and Richmond slug it out, and Dusty Martin starts the second half as he did the first half. Rioli, well done. Haynes, good tackle. Rioli, Dusty outside of the boot. How's the bounce? It's hit the post, I think. That missed by a millimetre.
Let's have a look at this. Daniel Rioli. Haynes did really well there. Stripped of it by Daniel Rioli, who's been great today and close with that pressure.
Zach Williams, their courage with their ball movement. GWS has been a feature. They are prepared to do a lot of this, really take on the kick.
And Patton's ability to push down and take marks there is crucial.
Tomlinson's had the game of his life so far to lob. Running on again. Enormous half of footy he's played and streaming forward. This is good play. Himmelberg kicked 2 goals in the first quarter. He wants Scully out the back. Off his thigh, I think. And out of bounds. It should be a boundary throw in.
But what Patton did there, he came all the way down to get that secondary kick outside of 50, and it just opened everything up because he worked hard and presented, Patton, and hasn't kicked a goal but played a really good role for his team.
Another disposal for Tomlinson too, involved in that chain. 17 now. What a game he is playing. Preliminary final, good tackle in there. Patton laying it. Grimes last man up. Tigers by 2 points.
And again, the Giants have got all of their defenders outside 50. They're not pushing down, they're stretching Richmond out.
Advantage.
So free kick for Hooley. You heard the call. Cochin, away he goes. Lob, second attempt marks. Tallest man in the contest. They had the wall formed there, the Giants, a giant wall.
Tigers have still got Dusty Martin as their deepest forward. As Lob found the target of Haynes.
2 metres, Jason.
Too far out to score. Here Haynes looking for Patton. Here comes Rance, as he always does. Perfect timing in the spoil.
Gonna have to go off, mate. Blood streaming. Coming out.
You can hear the umpire saying to Dave Asprey, you've got to come off. Blood streaming out of the right eyebrow.
Oh, he's got a nice one there. That has come up straight away. Might need a little stitch there.
Look at Stevie J. He is just constantly on the verbal. He's having a little discussion with Trent Cotchin at the moment.
And you know exactly what he's saying. He's trying to get inside his head.
He would be saying, mate, if you get through the grand final, you're not playing.
That's what he'd be saying.
Absolutely.
100% he would. He's playing a mind game.
I haven't mentioned that Dylan Shield in doubt as well if the Giants go through.
Here's Hopper. Patton back to Hopper. Now Johnson. Lambert, good tackle. Comes out the back. Grigg quickly moves the ball on. Castagna just got his handball away to Prestia. Terrific tackle, Davis. Hard ball to be won here. Whitfield backing into the pack. McIntosh there. Caddy as well. Finals footy at its absolute finest. Football world screaming out for another close final. We had one in Adelaide. Port and the West Coast Eagles, of course. And we've got another one here to half-time.
Tom Scully on the run, ran into McIntosh, who wrapped him up beautifully.
I reckon he had prior opportunity there, Tom Scully. He took possession and had a couple of steps into that tackle.
So much feeling, so much heat in the contest. Slick hands from Cornelio. Stevie dropped to his knees, wanted the free kick. Cochin goes back in, fights hard for the footy. Stevie's appealing for the footy, and it's wedged between his legs.
Between your legs, Stephen.
Cochin has set the standard, though, with the contested footy. He is fierce in close. He's had 11 contested possessions, the most on the ground out of his 16. So he is setting the tone.
Oh, well played, Tom Scully again. This is a high ball floating towards the goal square. Rance. Here's Toby Green. Can he get boot to ball? Grimes was able to cover him well.
See, they've done a good job on him so far, Toby Green. He's only had the 7 touches, hasn't kicked a goal yet, and hasn't looked at his total dangerous best. They've really paid close attention to him. At times it's been Grimes, but other players have just shifted onto him to make sure he can't kickstart the Giants up forward.
He's such a danger man, though. They'll need to be on guard that he doesn't bob up. Prestia just got it away. McIntosh had the footy, lost it. Kelly in there again. So 1 point again, Richmond's lead, as it was at half-time.
Feels like it's really tightening up now. It's really hard to break free of these situations.
Yeah, the running game has become an in-tight, tough game. Grigg with the free kick to just ease a little bit of the pressure for the Tigers.
Move it on. Play on.
Called to play on Grigg. Down the line, Cotchin's going to fly for this. Big pack formed. And Curvis with strength. Smothered off the boot. Lambert did really well. Out to Whitfield. That was clever. To Kelly coming up for disposal number 18, Josh Kelly. To Hopper. Cotchin's defensive pressure.
He's outstanding.
Fantastic.
Richmond.
He's setting the tone. A few guys have got to get in behind him now.
Try to evade.
He's getting to everything, Trent Cotchin.
Yeah, right there. Thank you.
16 disposals, 11 of them contested. What a captain's game this has been. One incident is going to be talked about, but his performance has been enormous, Delidio and Grigg.
Tell to him. Thank you.
So just to put that into, he's had 12 contested possessions now, and the next best on the ground is 7 to Josh Kelly. It says a bit about his intent.
Kelly's around this contest. Nankervis, lob, and Delidio's given away the free kick to the young man Graham, who plays on quickly. It's a good kick. Revolt's on the lead here. He's got a break. The Giants at the back. McIntosh handballed into the face of Castagna. Wilson, his clearing kick didn't go far. Castagna, Lambert, they're still in here. Rioli for his third. He's got the name and he's got the finish.
What a finish from Daniel Rioli. He's been very good today. Part of that Mosquito fleet. But that is as good a finish as you'll see. He didn't have any time to size that up. He was under extreme heat. And Richmond get the first goal of the third quarter.
This is an equal career high 3 goals for Daniel Rioli. And have a listen to that. Advantage paid. Callum Ward sends it deep. Rance, Patton. Neither got a hand on it. Here's Himmelberg. Had some good moments, Himmelberg. Wrapped up by Grimes. Incorrect disposal, not called. Broad goes back and the safety of the boundary line. On offer. Let's get down to Lingy.
Well, we got the Telstra tracker in the finals, and you guys just mentioned Daniel Rioli having career high 3 goals. That's because of that sort of effort. 12 sprint efforts, Core, Butler, Allison, Prestia as well, working hard at high intensity, but Rioli, superb reward for effort.
Rance, great effort. Tomlinson couldn't mark. Davis coming the other way, and now Taranto hooking it back towards the goal square. It's fisted over the line. Grimes did really well. So did Broad.
Rory Lobb pulled up a little bit sore there. Copped one in the midriff. Geez, Ruckman. You've got to admire Ruckman, the courage. That takes courage to jump like that in the middle of the ground. You cop plenty of knees in your stomach, in your rib cage.
Toby Nankervis got him right up the middle. He was emergency for Sydney in the grand final last year. He's been a great inclusion to the Tigers.
It's a real art form in the middle though, Das, isn't it?
Sure is. You know, stand face to face, and it's a battle of wills. And
just saw a little head wobble there from
hey, well, appreciated the ruckman at times, Richard, let's be honest. Here's Whitfield. Good tackle. There he is again, Nankervis. He's had a couple of big moments.
Let it go. Let it go.
You talk about what you love from your ruckman. We saw what he just did to Rory Lobb. You love that as a teammate. The ruckman just going bang with a big tackle. That big body on a smaller midfielder. Gee, you love that as one of your mates.
Yeah, big play, wasn't it, Lingy? And Rioli's playing a big game tonight, Daniel Rioli.
Daniel Rioli being held.
I think they're getting worried about Rioli now in close.
Daniel Rioli, please.
Didn't need to give that free away.
They love the MCG in finals time, the Riolis. They love it at any stage. Dusty, look at him signalling. Just kick it to me, I'll do the rest. He's surrounded by a few, Dusty. Can he get a run at it? Revolt's down there as well. Jack got a hand to it. Fresh air swing from Prestia. Rush through cleverly in the end by Heath Shaw.
On top for the moment, the Tigers. You wonder about the cumulative effect of not having Shield out there now.
It's going to add up. It is going to add up. He's a gun midfielder worth 25 to 30 every game.
Not Wilson's best effort to kick to himself, but plenty of time. The kick, not ideal. Ward made it look good.
They've done that pretty well today, the Giants, on kick-ins. They've been able to take that pressure-relieving contested mark, about 60 out. Patton, Ward, just relieves all that pressure. You don't lock it in.
So Core with a switch to Tomlinson. Tomlinson, disposal number 18. Big game. 24, his career high, and he runs onto it from Scully. The big man running. Johnson couldn't get on the end of it. It was a wide kick.
That's what you call overlap run, though.
Thank you there. Play on.
Flostone has not had his normal impact in the game. They've really gone to work on him and his influence at half-back. He's been a great rebounder in the back half of the year, Richo.
He's been able to be freed up, Floston, and intercept over the last 7 or 8 weeks. But today, Leon Cameron's put a lot of effort into stopping him. You know that. The intelligence they would have had from their Oppo analysis would have been, we need to stop Floston intercepting.
Yeah, 19 possessions and a goal, and the big win over Geelong in the first final. Just a 6 so far. Look at Dusty. He's back in the midfield. Flicks it out over the top. Graham. Strong young player to Caddy. Back in board. Now Grigg's got to pick it up. Flicks it out to Lambert. Kick the first goal of the game. Aaron Handball. Oh, runs on board. Townsend can kick a goal. And a couple in a row for the Tigers. Jacob Townsend, what about his year? He has won the VFL Best and Fairest. The JJ Liston came in the final couple of rounds, kicked 6 goals and 5 goals. They had to play him, and now he's got a big goal and a big prelim final.
His goal-kicking ways continue.
So there was nothing pretty about that at all. That was just surge momentum football with handballs basically moving it forward, and the crowd, this is where it might come into effect. 2 goals in a row, third quarter, the premiership quarter as they've always called it.
Check that noise with Lingy in a moment. It's getting louder and louder. Scully inside 50. Brilliant take by Green. This is what he can do. The young champ just offline.
How good was that, though? Sorry, Baz.
13-point lead, which was equal to the biggest of the night for the Tigers from the 3-minute mark of the opening term back to 2 goals.
And Dylan Grimes has done a good job on Toby Green, but he's the sort of player you have to be on for the whole 4 quarters with your concentration, because he could kick a couple late and seal the game. That's what he's like.
In front. Couldn't complete the mark. Cornelio. Prestia's got hold of him. Spilled out to Castagna. An awkward bending torpedo out of bounds on the full.
Get back 2 metres short.
So he's short.
The feel right now is though that the Giants almost need to be able to kick their goals playing perfect football and linking up perfectly. Richmond are able to scrap their goals a little bit better. They need that sort of run, the Giants.
Just kicked the 2 goals in the last 2 quarters. The Giants. Here's Scully, almost got through. No surprise that Rance is involved. Now Scully again. Look at him go to town. Tom Scully. Rance, did he take him out? Play on to call. Now out of bounds.
You just don't feel like the rest of this game of football will be played perfectly. It's too tight. It's too tense. At times it's scrappy. So I think the Giants are just going to have to find a way to scrounge some goals rather than rely on the perfect football.
It's a war out there at the moment. So hard, and the Tigers with their army behind them in the stands.
Knocked out.
Martin is now coming into this situation. He's been forward. Is another big clash there? Gee, you've got to be brave in the air, don't you? Look at that. 4 players.
Tigers by 2 goals. Lambert, brilliant. Edwards, Hooley, farms it back. Here's Floston. Now he kicks towards some space to 2-on-1. Well done. Brilliant by Wilson. He was the one. Tomlinson's handball not clean. Butler's in here. Runs onto it. Chips the kick up. Well read by Shaw. Castagna had to wait. He's played on.
Had the short one on offer from Taranto, and eventually that's where he goes. He's short. Saw Scully there in the middle of the ground, signalling for the footy, and now they decide. conservative, and down the line's the option. Rance out the back. Asprey's back on with a head bandage. Toby Green's been pretty quiet. Found a way through the tackle. Oh, Scully's been cleaned up by Cochin.
Interference.
Free kick.
Let it up. Thank you.
He's got Patton on Floston. He's got to get it in there.
He's done exactly that, Richo. Good support from Asprey out the back. Callum Ward picks it up to goal. Did he get boots a ball? Let's have a listen.
Score review. I believe it's a goal. Can we please make sure he kicked it before it was fully across the line? Okay. Score review. Umpire's call is a goal. Please check that he kicked it before the line.
Review underway. And you would think that will be Callum Ward's second goal. In fact, that'll be his third goal, Callum Ward.
What a game he's playing. That is the goal. That'll be confirmed any second. Here's the real slow-mo. That's not across the line.
Going to be hard to overturn.
Decision on the scoreboard.
Three goals to Callum Ward, and we're back to within 6 points.
It was good play. They got it in quickly to a mismatch on Floston and John Patton, and the ball wasn't killed correctly. Tried to kill it through for a behind Richmond, but didn't get enough on it, and Ward pounced, playing a captain's game.
What about the tension? Have a look at that. You can feel it here at the MCG.
So that's the goal. The man who kicked their first ever goal in the competition back in 2012, and for just the fourth time in his career, 3 goals or more. What games the midfield captains are playing. Cochin for the Tigers on cue, and Ward for the Giants. Cochin's kick down towards Martin. Core, Rioli. It's been so dangerous, and again Martin not out of it yet, and Rioli got to his feet so quickly, kept it alive for Grigg. It's a high ball under it. Castagna, not quite. Wilson in there ties the ball up, and it will be thrown up.
Is that Wilson on the bottom? Yes, it is. Richmond had a 3-on-1 there. Sorry, it's Haynes. He did well, Haynes.
Really marked it with his face there, Castagna. Had a fair piece of it. Revolt in the ruck. Grigg flicked it back out. He wanted Graham. It's going to come to Grimes, an unlikely goal kicker, Dylan Grimes. This is his 103rd game, and he's kicked just 3 goals in his career, Dylan Grimes. What a time to kick his 4th.
He's kicked 1 goal this year, Dylan Grimes. This will really test out that theory, Das, about defenders and coming down and kicking goals. See if it's a defender's kick.
What do you reckon, Richo?
I haven't seen enough of him kicking goals to know, Baz.
This is the first time that he's managed to play every game in a year, Dylan Grimes. Look at the concentration on his face. These are big moments in prelim finals. The defender, he kicked it like a defender. How about the tension, the anxiety, the frustration? Adley, you want to speak to you about Dusty Martin, the balance of playing him forward and mid. Do you think Damien Hardwick's got that right so far?
I don't mind in the fact he's having a little burst down forward. He's had 3 shots at goal, Dusty Martin. Or maybe just almost resting him up a little bit as well for a big onslaught in the last quarter. So I think the balance is pretty good right now.
Janan Curvis doing some very good work. He got the ball out of bounds. We saw a shot of the Tiger fans just a moment ago. They're getting closer and closer to the edge of their seats, Richo.
They'll be standing then by the end of this game, Baz, because you just got the feeling this will go to the absolute end.
Nankervis has been big. Hopper, Cochin, none bigger than him. Tomlinson also very handy tonight. So they get a breather. Richmond by 7 points. They led by a point at halftime. 6 points was their lead at quarter time. Over 95,000 in here.
In front, Patton. Graham had a good run at the footy. And now Green at half-back, just hugging the boundary line, and that might have been what he was hoping for. And they're going to pay it.
There's nothing else a player can do there. We know that they pay them, but you still feel for the player who's done everything he can to gain meterage and keep it in.
Especially when it almost ends up in a teammate's arms down the line.
Broad sends this one back deep inside 50. Out the back, Haynes. Nankervis has been good. Sliding in Revolt. Couldn't quite gather possession. Little handball from Edwards was really good. Castagna to Rioli for goal number 4. Rioli's kick 4. Daniel Rioli, he's the hero so far. And the Tigers out to a 13-point lead. And he's as cool, calm and collected as you'd like.
Well, he's putting together some sort of game. 4 goals and his pressure, 6 tackles. For Daniel Rioli, the most amount of tackles on the ground and the most goals. That says something about two-way footy.
It's a career-high 4 goals, Richo. Not only has he got one of footy's most famous names, he wears one of Richmond's most famous numbers, perhaps the most famous number, number 17. It belonged to Captain Blood, Jack Dyer.
It is, Baz. That would be the most famous number.
And his team, again, out to a 13-point lead. For the 3rd time, equaling their high lead in this game. Asprey, down the line. Haynes, good fist away. And Lingy, this is the most crucial moment in the game now. The last 9 minutes of this 3rd term, you just get the feeling there's another of the famous players. They're hanging in there at the moment, GWS.
Yeah, absolutely crucial moment there. The great KB, he'll be riding every moment for the rest of the game. But the Tigers just starting to win the footy around the ball, starting to control it. And they're finding a way when they get it forward. They're scrapping, they're fighting, they're pressuring, but they're also finishing with a bit of class from Daniel Rioli. They have been wonderful. I don't know what the Giants have got. As I said before, it feels like they rely on just perfect football. Well, prelim finals aren't always perfect footy.
They've got a scrap on here, and Callum Warne's a man for a fight. He'll be going hard. Hooley tackled well by Scully. Taranto, the young gun. De Boer, former Fremantle Docker, spills out to Edwards. Tried to flick it back, chopped off by Hopper. This is a big footy to win this one. Prestia coughed it up. In came Edwards again, picked up by Green. Oh, well done, Toby Green. Got it to the running Kelly. Stevie J's got space. And Stevie, who kicked 6 goals in a half to get them into the prelim final, has his first real look at a set shot.
This may sound ridiculous, but I'm not sure he's got the distance from here. No.
You're right, that wasn't ridiculous at all. He wasn't confident. He gave it to Wilson. Wilson sold himself into trouble and kicked it out of bounds on the full. And they love it, the Tiger fans.
Oh, well, great call. Lingy, you know him as well as anyone. And he did the right thing. He got it to Wilson, who's the kicker. Richmond were able to get enough pressure on. Gee, that was a big ball to be won in the middle of the ground by the Giants that gave Johnson that mark, though.
Hooley down the line, big fist again, looking for the boundary line, the Tigers defenders. If my memory serves me right, Richo, does Daniel Rioli live with Damien Hardwick?
He does, yes.
You reckon he might be popular tonight when he gets home if he's kicked 4, maybe even more goals in the preliminary final to get them into the grand final?
You'll get a bowl of ice cream tonight if that things continue.
After 35 years of waiting, they're not there yet. 13 points the Tigers lead.
Here comes Scully and the Giants again. Stevie wrapped up in a tackle that has been deemed to be pushing the back. Listen to that, the players cannot hear the whistle at all. We know it's out of his range, as Lingy said before. He won't be happy with the last result, Stevie. Look at that little eye just darting inboard. Signalling long, but it's going to come across his body. That's the famous Stevie J kick.
That's what he can't do. You cannot turn the ball over there, trying to be too cute, and 50 as well against Steve Canelio. Sometimes you've just got to do the simple things well there. Terrible decision by Stevie.
Yeah, you can see Leon Cameron. That's a big moment in this game. He was going inside 50 and they've coughed it up to the 50. Giants have got back well deep. Dusty's on a strong lead. Kick was just a bit short. He's sure over the top. Richmond fans are demanding in the back. They're not going to get it. Canelio, Hopper.
And now Shaw just thumps the ball towards the middle of the ground. Stevie J, he's got to make amends. He did make amends. Green's played on. Not sure about that. It's okay. Taranto inside 50. Patton. One hand. Floston came the other way. Now, how does he play this? He's got Nan Curvis. Didn't use him. Goes out wide, and look who's run back deep into defence. The skipper. What a game he's playing. Cochin short to Asprey. Listen to the roar.
Well, these are big minutes now. The last 6.5 minutes to three-quarter time. The Giants, they need the next goal.
And a couple of big missed opportunities from the Giants. This one is going to be forced over for a boundary throw, and Stevie J, just a couple of moments he'd like to have back, and you can imagine how much tension is with these two men.
In a very tight contest where it's super hard, Lingy summed up how hard it is to get things moving. The next goal is the biggest goal of the game.
Thrown in. Time remaining on the fence. 6:13. Scully's handball not good. Edwards through he comes. Handball's on. McIntosh from 55. He lets it go. It's offline and their lead, the biggest in the game so far. 14 points. Handball from Scully, normally so clean, over the head of Williams.
This is Haynes tracking the boundary line. Great southern stand wing side of the MCG. Well done, Dan Curvis. Clean hands from Hopper. Cornelio confronted. Good tackle, Asprey. Trying to hack it forward. Again, Cornelio. Now at ground level. That's Cochrane wrapped up by Tomlinson.
On the ball. Drive on the ball.
Yeah, good call from the umpire. Had to get it out.
Got one out forward of the footy. Got to move it quickly. No, that's it's not the option.
We'll try and go the long way home here, the Giants. He's Shaw just cruising with the footy. Pops it out in front of Core. Townsend prepared to corral. Now Core, this is it. Whoa, dangerous kick. It's turned over. Huge chance here. Lambert gets it across to Prestia. Gets it back to Lambert. He wants the target forward of the footy in Rewalt. Got time to go back and get it. Tomlinson gives chase. Outside 50. Rewalt. Oh, good ball back to Lambert. And the kick in the corridors come unstuck, and now Edwards, and they look tired all of a sudden, the Giants. They couldn't get back and defend, and Shane Edwards with a big opportunity.
It started with that first switch though. It was never on. They never had an outnumber for the switch. They needed to go down the line. They had one-on-ones forward of the football, and that just left them open to a turnover back the other way.
Shane Edwards coming off a season high 24 touches in the qualifying final versus Geelong. Massive moment in the prelim final. Starts at left and sneaks it home. Listen to the Tiger fans. Game high, 20-point lead to Richmond. And all of a sudden it feels a long way back from here for GWS.
Richmond have kicked 5 of the last 6 goals. Massive clearance here in the centre for the Giants. They need a centre clearance. Kelly's in there. Ward's in there. Cornelio's in there.
We mentioned that the Giants look tired and Richmond have got all the run. Well, the Telstra tracker paints that perfectly. Sprint efforts, 50 more by the Tigers over the GWS. 5 of the last 6 goals. Everything is going Richmond's way because of their brilliant work rate.
Lingy, 5 of the last 6 goals and 12 of the last 16 scores. They're well on top. Townsend inside 50. Castagna with him, Wilson. Well done, Haynes. 2-on-1. It's a high ball. Not a great clearing kick. Ward, Nankervis. Brilliantly done, Lambert. He found Graham. Well done, Haynes coming the other way. Now it's with Grigg. Got it from Townsend. Bending back. Martin! Not paid. Yes, he is. Paid the mark.
This is it here. Right here.
How loud will this be if he kicks it? For a 26-point lead. And there might be no coming back for the Giants. Now they dare to dream. 95,000 plus here, most of them Tigers. And now they allow themselves to contemplate next week.
Dusty Martin, 15 disposals, and now he's kicked a goal, and that was a big one.
6 of the last 7 goals of the game with Richmond. 26-point margin. Critical moments now for the Giants. They can't concede another. Can they peg one back? Good tackle from Haynes.
Well, the Giants, they just have to get into three-quarter time without conceding, perhaps get one themselves. And 4 goals is nothing in AFL footy.
See Tomlinson back there as a loose man. Williams picked it up, pirouetted out beautifully. Look at the skill of Williams. Took a bounce. Rioli's chase outstanding. Whitfield classy by foot. Normally, look at that kick. Beautiful pass. Outstanding play, the Giants. And Harrelson Himmelberg, who kicked 2 goals in the first quarter.
That was great. Chased by Rioli, but it was really good by Williams. He held on to it to the last minute, gave it off to the runner. This man's got the temperament. He kicked a big one early.
From the Giants Academy, they desperately need him right now. Angle no issue, distance won't be a problem. He nearly missed the ball. He shinned it big time. And that hurts.
Kicking to the punt road end, into that punt road crowd.
Well, that's just pressure, isn't it?
Well, Phil Spector invented the wall of sound. I doubt his wall was anything like this. It wouldn't have sounded nearly as loud. Rioli just spikes the ball towards the midfield. Castagna not quite. Cochin's leadership outstanding. Williams handballs away. Kelly caught in the tackle. Guess who? The skipper again. Advantage allowed.
How good was Cochin there? He's willing inside into a grand final. Will he be there? It's going to be the big question himself. Martin, no free kick. Tomlinson, Castagna nearly got it. And it's hit the behind post. Millimetres away.
Geez, feeling his ribs there, Martin.
I'm not sure you're allowed to tackle somebody as they're trying to kick the ball off the ground either. I think Castagna should have got a free kick. Dusty Martin saw there.
He wouldn't stay down, would he?
No, but Castagna, I think, should have got a free kick.
He's right.
He's fallen on his knee. Look at that, in the ribs.
Oh, yeah. Maybe unlucky himself, Dusty, not to get a free kick, but he's really sucking in the big ones now. You could see clearly the knee into the ribs of Martin. Here's Scully, minute 48 until three-quarter time. Rance back there, the ever-reliable four-time All-Australian captain in 2017. Sends this one back. Huge pack's going to fly. Lob pushed underneath it.
Push. GWS, push. Time back on.
Lob's free.
Well done, Lob. Mankervis is back. So Lob got back and he needed to.
Probably lowered his colours against Nankervis tonight, but pushed back hard as he needed to. Ward's been superb and Dusty sucking them in. 1:14 left on the clock. Taranto, got to get a goal, the Giants. Got to run it to the other end of the ground, the punt road end, and kick a goal. That was touched. Lambert tried to use Nankervis, still a chance. Green, De Boer, handball for Cornelio. Clock inside a minute now. Here's Deledio against his old side, goes sideways. Haynes, need to keep it moving. Haynes runs at the man. Long ball, Rance favoured by it. Rance marks and chops the Giants off.
Oh, how good Alex Rance. Just found himself, wheeled himself back into the hole. Here comes Haynes. Can he get through? Butler did really well. Castagna, handball only as far as Tomlinson. Now they've got an issue again. Look at the pick up from Castagna. Fought his way back into it. Caddy can run onto a goal. He's got Butler in board. Pops into the square. Dusty, the one-on-one. Which way is it going? Dusty's got it. Dusty Martin, free kick. And this is enormous.
Dusty Martin, thank you.
Free kick there. He held on. And that is what great players make you do. They force you into free kicks. And I tell you what, when this one goes through, the 95,000 here, the Richmond fans, they are thinking grand final time. The champ Martin cannot miss, directly in front, 31-point lead. And listen to the Richmond fans, they are just about on their way to a grand final.
was in a vulnerable position. And give Josh Caddy credit. He could have blazed away a goal there, but he saw a mismatch. He saw Martin. Heath Shaw is a great player, but that is a horrible position for any defender on a player who in one-on-one situations in the forward part of the ground doesn't get beaten. He either wins it, Lingy, or it comes to ground.
He certainly does, and the crowd loves him for it. But he was in that position then, Heath Shaw, because of some pathetic defensive efforts from the GWS players up the field. As soon as Richmond won that footy, Giants were not prepared to work back hard. Richmond are working far harder than what their GWS opponents are right now.
6-4 to 1-4 in this third term. They call it the Premiership quarter. Decider, and the Tigers will kick to the Punt Road end of the ground. In the last term, 35 years they've been waiting. Don't go anywhere. It might only be a quarter away. Richmond by 31 points.